What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here today to dive into some GemRate data for the month of December. As always, if you're not following GemRate and not checking out GemRate's website, what are you really doing with yourself? Even if you don't really care about the nuances of the individual grading companies, there's still a lot of really good information that you could pull out of some set data and GemRate percentages and see what particular brands or sets are grading maybe a little bit more difficult than others, what the population reports look like, all sorts of good stuff in there that you can poke around on. I don't even use it to its fullest extent. I also recently just saw too that GemRate has done a little business with Card Ladder, that Card Ladder is going to have be implementing, in fact it's already live, implementing population report data from GemRate. So when you look at a card, it shows the pop counts from all four major grading companies, which is really slick. I actually used it the other day on something. It was really, really easy. So let's go ahead and dive into the data. Overall grading activity was up ever so slightly, just 4%, which I do find intriguing given, December's kind of a busy month with the holidays. A lot of people take a time off work. You would think that people would be not grading as many cards. There's a little bit of lag time on this stuff, obviously, because this is probably, for PSA anyways, a lot of cards submitted throughout the month of November that are hitting the population report in December. For SGC and some of the others with quicker turnaround time, that's not so much the case. But regardless, overall grading was up. Now, the month was dominated by two companies, PSA and SGC. PSA had a 7% increase on the month, did over 1 million cards again. CCG, the combined numbers down 17% from last month. CSG down 18 and CGC down 16. Talk about that in a second. SGC up 10% and Beckett down 5%. Now, a couple things happened, which I think is what impacted CGC's numbers a little bit, was the fact that PSA ran that $15 sale for TCG cards. And I think probably took away some of their market share, because that is the one thing that CGC has, is the ability to grade pretty cheaply. If you're a CGC member, you could grade bulk with them for $12.50 a card. Prior to that $15 special, if you're grading low-end stuff, even if it sells for a little bit less, that could be an angle to take. With PSA dropping to 15 for that month, that gap narrows, and then it probably makes more sense to go to PSA for the liquidity factor and the increased sale price. But those are the overall numbers. Let's kind of dig into some specifics here, break it down by category like he does. Here's the sports cards specifically. You can see PSA up 12%, SGC up 10%, CSG down 18%, Beckett down 13% on the sports card side. PSA put a lot of pressure on the grading companies these last couple months with these various $15 specials that they have been rolling out. Obviously, we are in January now. Those have gone away, but their pricing being at 15, I think really hurt CSG and Beckett. SGC, like I said, they're up 10% on the month. The PSA pricing, I think, doesn't affect them quite as much unless it gets super, super cheap. We'll see how that plays out as we kind of move forward here. When you flip over to the TCG side, PSA basically stayed flat. CGC lost 16%. Beckett went up 7%. SGC went up 9%. So we were talking earlier about PSA potentially taking some of that TCG market away from CGC. It actually looks like by the numbers that Beckett and SGC took away more of that than PSA. Though I guess when you really think about it, 1% of 447,000 is still quite a large number. So even though it was a 1% increase, that's still almost 4,500 cards just on a 1% swing. So when you think about it like that, stupid percentages and being all confusing. But Beckett and SGC, meaningful increases for them on the TCG side. Like I spoke about earlier, PSA's $15 pricing has gone away. They've rolled out this new pricing for January at this $19 level and $22 level. And we talked about it when they when they rolled it out that there was some weirdness there with declared value. I kind of want to put this into the ether before it actually happens. I'm recording this Monday evening. I feel like they have something up their sleeve for a $200 and under declared value limit. Maybe it's $12, maybe it's $15. I don't know. The current thing at 19 with a $500 declared value, I just feel like they got something up their sleeve. If you were going to roll out cheaper pricing in December, because in December they announced what their pricing was going to be, and they were currently at $15 for bulk. And I myself was like, I need to get an order in before the end of the year to take advantage of the $15 grading. If you had a price point that you were going to roll out at, let's just say $12 for sub $199 declared value at a bulk rate, you're not going to announce that when you're trying to get business through the door at $15. I would not be surprised if we see, I don't know, I think they give it like maybe a week or two to breathe, because if they immediately announce it, they would just piss people off. But they give it like a week or so, see how submission volume drops off with the new pricing. I wouldn't be surprised by mid-January, if not sooner, if I am making some sort of PSA video. Hey, look, they have this $12 to $15 special for $199 declared value or lower. And maybe there are some other requirements for it, set registry stuff or PSA memberships, this, that, or the other thing. But I feel like they are holding back on us on purpose because they didn't want to undercut their own $15 special. Maybe they want to kind of take a break for a quick second, get caught up just a little bit here at the beginning of the year, see what submission volume looks like at $19, and then reassess from there. Maybe they don't have anything up their sleeve at all, and I'm just overthinking this entire thing. But I feel like there's a missing piece to the current PSA pricing. Same thing with their current declared values. You know, we talked about it in that video where there's that weird jump from $500 in declared value to $1,500 in declared value. I hope they do something about that, because that one really doesn't make a ton of sense. That's just a big gap in pricing and declared value to go up from there. CSG has continued their prices. They had that 20% discount. That is going to continue moving forward. CGC prices are still the same. They do not have the 20% discount. I would love to see CGC roll out a 20% discount and send some stuff in for that. Beckett's pricing, I believe, has gone back to normal, but don't quote me on that. I have not seen anything from them since the first of the year, but I was out of town the last 4 days of the year in the middle of the woods with little to no internet access, so it was a little bit tricky to keep up on everything like normal. And then SGC is at their current pricing. I don't know if I see them changing things up anytime soon. They've been doing a lot of these $9 specials with Bowman. Talk about that in a second. They have another one going right now with Star Wars and Topps Chrome with another $9 special to kind of capture some of that market as well. So they keep making these partnerships with Topps and offering discounted grading. Let's look at those Bowman Chrome numbers really quick. I was curious, GemRate and I were actually talking about this earlier this week in DMs, how the Bowman Chrome promotion has gone for them. Here is 2021 Bowman Chrome for a comparison point. They have graded 1,700 total cards in 2021 Bowman Chrome. In 2022, with the $9 special, they've already graded almost 2,500 cards, and it is hilarious when you look at this graph. This is the weekly growth rate, so it shows how much the pop report jumps each individual week. So here's what they were doing. You just kind of see it slowly creep up, and then to the moon, literally to the moon. I don't remember exactly when that was announced. I'm guessing the beginning of December, and you just see this thing shoot straight up. On November 28th, they were at 291 cards. Here we are a little over a month later, a month and a couple days. They're at 2,446. So that's 2,200 cards were submitted in a month. The other interesting thing is you see how fast and loose people get with their eye when sending in at $9 grading. Look at the gem rate percentage difference. 2021 Bowman Chrome has a 43% gem rate. 2022 Bowman Chrome was sitting just under 40% until the special rolled out. And then what happened? This number shot up and this number shot down. It dropped from, was that 38% on October 28th down to 25% on January 2nd at time of recording. Now, that could be, maybe it's as simple as Bowman Chrome QC is not good. I've heard some things. I have not watched many breaks of Bowman Chrome. I don't know the prospect game super well, so I don't really know the players to sit there and watch a break and get a vibe for like what big hits are other than people freaking out. And so maybe the QC is just bad on it. I haven't opened any on my own. I actually have some boxes. I have 4 mega boxes and a couple hobby boxes, but I'm not planning on opening them, at least right now. Those are going to sit for a little bit. So maybe the QC is just bad. Maybe this is just another Topps Chrome update situation. Like I said, I have heard that the QC on Bowman Chrome is not spectacular. I don't know if it's update levels bad. People in the comments below can let me know. But prior to this, I mean, you know, that was the QC at sitting at just under 40%. And then all of a sudden $9 grading comes out and people are like, send everything, send it all in to get graded. And then the gem rate percentage drops by 15%. And a lot of that could just be for $9. A lot of people will get real fast and loose. You might just want it slabbed because if you have a first Bowman auto of somebody or a nicer card and it's got a little bit of an issue on it, and you may have even caught it in your grading pre-screen, but for $9 a card, and with SGC's turnaround times, you're going to get it back in 3 or 4 days. For $9, you can get it slabbed just to remove questions from the sale. Like if it was a big enough, it was a couple $100 card, I would just send it in just to get it slabbed. So then when you go to sell it, everyone knows, hey, this is a 9. There's no questions here. Versus selling it raw, and then someone gets it and they're like, oh, there's this little dimple on here. I need to open up an eBay return. You don't want to deal with any of that nonsense. So that is one advantage to the ultra cheap grading. Also, a good data point for SGC. They know, hey, what happens if we open the doors at $9 a card for something like this? What actually happens? So they get some data to go back and sit in their conference room and kind of map some things out and get an idea of how much extra demand got added on based off the $9 grading. Could they keep up? And we don't know the details of that deal. You know, is SGC eating a bunch of that cost? I don't know. Can they grade for $9 and still make a profit? I doubt it, but I don't know for sure. We don't know their books. Or is Topps subsidizing some of this? Is it just a mutual marketing agreement? We don't know those details. So, you know, they could be getting a kickback from Topps for every card that they grade for a couple bucks to help cover the costs. And even if they're grading at a slight loss, the marketing win alone, if they lost, I don't know, say $3 a card, $2 a card, $4 a card, whatever it was, they still only graded 2,000 cards. That's not that big of a deal. You know, if it was $2 a card, $4,000 or whatever that would be, $4 a card would be $8,000. They got more marketing publicity out of the partnership with Topps than they could have spent on advertising for the $8,000. Or once again, they may not even be grading at a loss. We're making assumptions here, but regardless, you know, even if they're grading at a couple buck loss, the amount of cards that they got doesn't hurt them that much. Now, we'll see what happens. You know, next month, there might be a few more on there. I believe that promotion is now officially over. But with their turnaround times, we probably have a pretty good idea of how many they got for that. And it'll be intriguing to look at this chart going forward, how much this drops down week by week now that that deal is over with. At least I believe that it's over with. And I did confirm that is over with, ended December 31st, 2022. So this will be something interesting to keep an eye on over the next couple weeks to see how much this all of a sudden now drops off. And if this worked out good for everybody, and like I said, they've already rolled this out for 2022 Topps Chrome Star Wars, do we begin to see this with other products? Do other grading companies roll something out like this? Because you don't have to partnership with one of these companies to do it. You could just do it. any one of these companies could just come out and say, hey, anyone that submits this particular set, $10 a card, whatever it is. Now, sure, there's advantages to the partnership because you're getting the co-marketing and all that other nonsense. Like I said, maybe you're getting a kickback, maybe you're not. Worst case, you're leveraging the co-marketing of the Topps/Fanatics partnership. But if you just wanted to get cards in the building and kind of make inroads in a particular genre, you could just do that on your own. Once again, smart of SGC to do it with Star Wars. That's, I don't know what their penetration is in that market. I don't work in a lot of Star Wars graded cards, but I could see them and other grading companies continuing to roll stuff like this out, even if there is not partnership with the actual card producer. So those are the numbers for this month. We'll see what happens going forward. I think January, my gut tells me January will be fairly similar, especially for PSA, because remember, there's a little bit of lag time on PSA because they're not turning stuff as fast as the other companies. I mean, they're turning pretty quickly. It takes about a month to get most of the bulk orders back based off feedback. And as always, feel free to share submission dates in the comments down below. So my gut tells me that January stays relatively the same because PSA is going to have all those $15 orders from December to work on. Then from there, we will see, does pricing change over this month? Do they roll something else out? Maybe February sees a little bit of a dip. If they don't, we'll find out. A lot of it will depend on what they end up doing with their pricing model. So those are the GemRate numbers for the month of December. I think the rest of this week, I did not get to a weekly sports card market update on Sunday like I wanted to. However, I think I'm going to do, and if you're interested in this, please let me know in the comments down below. Anyone still watching this late into the video, you are the real champion. I think I might do like a yearly breakdown of the 3 major sports and look at 1-year trends for a bunch of key cards. I was originally going to do it all in one video, but to be honest, there was more cards than I wanted to look at. And unless I wanted a video to be forever and a day long, I think it might be smarter for me to break it up into basketball, football, and baseball and record that and put it out and kind of look at the pricing trends over a bunch of different cards for each major sport. So if you're intrigued by that, let me know in the comments below. You think that's a stupid idea? Also let me know in the comments below. But we'll probably see something like that. I also need to put my list together. I have it in my head. I just need to formalize it of things that I'm going to be chasing in 2023. And still some forward-thinking content for the upcoming year that I want to talk about. And maybe some still backwards-looking content reviewing some stuff that happened in 2022. But that is the video for today. We will catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.